You could be asked a question which will rely on your understanding of these symbols. So these are called inequality symbols. This, where the open end will always be at the bigger number. So the pointy end, if you like, towards the smaller number, the open end towards the bigger number. So this means that this number here is greater than the number there. This way around means this number to the left is smaller than the number to the right. So let's look at the question. 0.022, which symbol would connect that to 22%? So we've got to do some conversion here. Now I can get that to a percentage by multiplying by 100, or I can get that to a decimal by dividing by 100. So I'm just going to show you this way. 22 divided by 100 would be 0.22. Divide it by 100. I can see that this number is bigger than this number. So the inequality symbol I need is this one. So 0.022 is less than 22%. The next question is testing whether I can find a percentage of an amount. So 15% of 300, and I think I'll find 10% and then 5%, because I know that will add to 15%. 10% of 300, well, that's dividing by 10, so that'd be 30. 5%, well, that's half of 10%, so that will be half of 30, which is 15. So 15% altogether will be 45. Looking at the other side, I've got to find what is 20% of 240. So again, I think I'm going to find 10%, because I know when I double that, I've got 20%. So 10% will be dividing by 10, 24. So 20%, if I double 24, will be 48. So I could compare these two amounts, and again I notice that this number is greater than this number. So I'm going to use the same inequality symbol. I'm going to use this one. 45 is less than 48. The last question, testing whether I can find a fraction of an amount as well as a percentage of an amount. So how do I find 2/5 of £40? Okay, so what I would normally do, I would divide by the denominator, because that would find me 1/5, and then I'd multiply by the numerator. So 40 divided by 5, which is 8, times by 2 gives me 16. I now need to compare that to whatever 25% of 64 is. So 25%, I'm going to find 50%, and then I'm going to halve it, because 50% is double 25. So 50% is a nice easy one to find. We're just going to halve this number, will be 32. Then halving that again tells me that 25% is going to be 16. Now, if we compare these values, we see actually they are equivalent. So 2/5 of 40 is the same as 25% of 64. So we can use the equal sign for the last one.